Craig's wife divorced him at a time when he needed her the most. To make matters worse, he got fired from his job. Craig was the child of a forbidden relationship, and just when he was about to throw in the towel, his fortune changed. To understand Craig's life, you have to know where he came from. Craig's father died when Craig was only 11. He never met his mother. She had come to America from the UAE to study, where she briefly dated Craig's father. When she discovered she was pregnant, she kept it secret from her family back home. 1 month after giving birth, she handed Craig to his father's twin sister, along with an envelope addressed to Craig's father. Inside was a check worth $500,000 and a note explaining that their religion and social position were very different. She begged him to look after their son and vanished. She asked him never to search for her. Craig's father was ill for a long time. Before he passed, he bought a house and instructed his twin sister, Craig's aunt, to live there and raise him. She was the only person he trusted. Craig grew up well. In his 20s, he started dating Sasha and eventually married her. Sasha never liked the fact that Craig's aunt lived with them. She tried to poison Craig's mind against the woman who raised him. She pressured him to put his aunt in a retirement home, sell the house, move to a new town, and buy her a bigger wedding ring. Craig began to see her selfish side. Sasha even had the old mansion valued. Despite being run down, it was worth $1 million. They had 5 years left on the mortgage, paying $30,000 a year. All this while, Craig's aunt suffered from a terminal illness, costing him thousands in medical bills. She eventually passed away. A week after her death, Craig sat staring at her photograph, still grieving. Sasha approached him and handed him an envelope. When he opened it, he froze. They were divorce papers. He felt like he was losing two people at once. His grief doubled into something unbearable. He begged Sasha to stay, to at least talk. Through tears, he pleaded, "My aunt is gone. I'll sell the house. I'll give you the money, all of it. Just don't leave me. I need you now more than ever. Please." But her bags were already packed by the door, with a taxi waiting outside. Before walking out, she said, "I left everything you ever bought me. The handbags, the jewelry, the shoes, I don't need any of it. What I want is my half of the value of the house." Craig broke. For the next week, he called and texted her more than 100 times. Eventually, the police visited, warning him that if he continued, he could be charged with harassment. At the divorce hearing, Sasha attempted to claim half the value of the house. She was shut down when the court informed her that the title belonged to Craig's aunt. Sasha hissed, "That old hog is still haunting me from the grave." Before Craig returned to work, Fred, the CEO of the company where he was working, called him. "Craig, I want to offer you a managerial role in our Texas branch. Consider it as a new beginning. You've got 3 weeks to decide. I know you're in your final week of bereavement leave. When it ends, you can work from home for 2 more weeks while you think about it." Craig was stunned. Fred never approved anyone to work from home. Craig thought Fred was being generous. He didn't know something sinister was hiding behind that gesture. At the end of the 3rd week, Craig accepted the offer. He drove to the office to thank Fred and collect his belongings. Sitting in his car in the underground car park, he rehearsed what to say. After 10 minutes, he saw Fred and Sasha walk out of the elevator holding hands. Craig froze, and then they kissed, passionately, before driving away in Fred's car. Craig vomited all over his car interior. He couldn't bring himself to go inside. Trying to drive home, his hands shook uncontrollably. He had to pull over and call his childhood best friend, Michelle, to pick him up. He hadn't spoken to her in months because Sasha pushed her away. Craig spiraled. 3 weeks after starting the new role, he was fired. He suspected Fred had sabotaged him, but he couldn't prove it. Debt swallowed him. Hospital bills, mortgage payments, legal fees. Michelle stepped in quietly and paid a year of his mortgage. His pride refused at first, but when she told him he could treat it as a loan, he accepted. The mansion, the last memory of his father and aunt, he had to put it up for sale. To cope with stress, Craig joined a gym trying to rebuild his life. Then one evening, he received a letter by special delivery. Inside was a first-class airline ticket and reservations for a 5-star hotel in the UAE. Craig assumed it was for a job interview. He had applied a few weeks earlier. But when he arrived, he was greeted by wealthy people and a stunning woman who hugged him tightly. She asked 1,000 questions about his upbringing. Craig thought it was part of a recruitment process, until she revealed the truth. She was his mother. She confessed everything, how ashamed she had been, how she had never stopped thinking about him, how sorry she was. Craig had endless questions. He was overwhelmed to learn he had brothers and sisters. Coincidentally, that same weekend, all the sister companies of Craig's former employer were holding a meeting in the UAE. Because Craig's old company was on the verge of liquidation, his mother's family purchased it, then gave Craig full control. His mother's family were powerful in the oil industry, and their mere involvement caused the company's stock to skyrocket. Craig had no idea his family was that wealthy. When he entered the meeting room, he saw Fred and Sasha among the staff. Sasha looked like $1,000,000. Fred asked, "What are you doing here? Didn't I fire you?" Craig replied, "Yes, you did, but I'm back in the company." "Not for long," Fred snapped. "I didn't approve anything. Leave before I call security." Craig smirked. "Calm down, Fred. Let's not make a scene." Everyone took their seats. Sasha had to wait outside. She wasn't a board member. When Craig walked past her, she scowled. "You can't go in there, and that meeting is only for board members." "I know," Craig replied and continued walking. Inside, Craig's mother announced him as the owner and 100% shareholder. The room went silent. Fred's jaw dropped. His eyes were wide, forehead creased. Total shock. When Sasha learned of Craig's power, she regretted leaving him. She asked to speak privately. He agreed. That night, she sent Craig multiple nude photos. He ignored them. When they met, she dressed seductively, trying to remind him of what he was missing. Craig asked, "Why are you dressed like that? And why are you sending me nudes? Let's get one thing straight. I'm not interested in you. All I care about is your work ethic. You'll stay on probation until you prove your worth." Sasha stammered, "If this is about leaving you, I'm sorry. I don't love Fred. I love you. I made a mistake. Please forgive me." Craig shook his head. "We didn't end things. You ended things. And it wouldn't be a mistake if I hadn't become rich, would it? You saw an opportunity, and you took it. I respect that. Honestly, I'm glad you left me when you did. Before I reached this stage in my life, I forgive you. That's why you still have a job." Craig then arranged a meeting with Fred and HR. He ordered an internal investigation. It exposed Fred as a thief who had been stealing company bonuses for years and transferring them into offshore properties. Craig reported him. Fred's assets were seized, sold, and redistributed as bonuses to staff. Everyone from executives to janitors received a share. Craig became adored. He later found out that even though Sasha was on the payroll, she wasn't actually doing any work. She wasn't really nice to a lot of the staff. And even though she said she loved him, she instructed her lawyer to inquire about the date he acquired his wealth, in case there's a possibility she could make any claim for a fraction of it. Craig received almost 100 complaints from staff about Sasha, about how she treated them in the past, because she was with Fred. Craig wasted no time in terminating Sasha's employment. As for him and Michelle, they had always shared a soft spot for each other, so it was no surprise when they finally started dating.